so far. Okay, go ahead, Vian.
Okay, family trip to Yosemite. I went to Yosemite National Park with my family last summer. My parents came by to travel with us from Korea. We booked a hotel for my parents and a lodge by the river for my family, especially for my son. My son always wanted to go camping. The lodge was reserved for him. When we arrived at the lodge, many people have been cooking for dinner. Some people had been eating before we prepared for our dinner. My father brought along his old chessboard and played chess with my son while we made our dinner. After we had finished eating, the sky became dark. We took a walk after dinner. We looked up the sky. There was thousands of stars in the night sky, and I never seen before. But that night, I couldn't get a sleep because it was very cold and the bed was so uncomfortable. I put on my socks while I was sleeping from the cold. When I woke up in the middle of the night, Coyote has been crying all night. I was so scared. Although my son and all of my families had been enjoying camping at the Yosemite, I thought that I will never go camping to the Yosemite again.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have any questions?
What did you experience from your trip? What did you experience from your trip?
Yeah.
The journey. Did you have any experience for your trip?
Yeah. I experienced to Yosemite or
So that story is that talk about.
yes, myself. The last summer we went to Yosemite.
How do you feel about the trip? I think he asked.
Yeah, how do you feel?
It's really nice, but the lodge was I feel very terrible.
Okay, I think one of the problems is one of the words you didn't pronounce clearly, and you pronounced it many times, and I had a hard time understanding you. So I have the text, and I know what one it is, but I'm afraid they don't know what this word is. And the word is lodge.
Lodge.
Did you know the word lodge? Do you know the meaning of the word lodge?
Yes.
It's like a,
Cabin.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like a cabin, kind of like a hotel, but not fancy hotel in the mountains. So the word Lodge. You didn't pronounce this very clearly. The L you did very well. The all must be longer, and the J is voiced. Voice sound J and long lodge.
Lodge.
Say it again. So make your
Lodge.
sentence. We arrived at the lodge.
When we arrived at the lodge,
Okay,
lodge,
so that word
Lodge.
that word is not pronounced clearly. That's a place where they say lodge.
lodge,
Nz, j.
lodge, lodge.
Excuse me. All right. Do you know how to say the word ch in chair?
Chair. Yeah.
No, you're meant ch, ch. Curl your tongue. J, lodge.
Lodge.
Okay, so
Lodge.
the kind of place where you stayed was the bed was. How did you feel about the bed?
Bad.
How did you feel about the bed?
Terrible.
Terrible because it was uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
So she didn't like where she was sleeping, and the end. Did you understand her sentence at the end? Her last sentence. Can you repeat your last sentence? I don't think they caught that.
Yeah. Although my son and all of my family had been enjoying camping at the Yosemite, I thought that I will never go camping to Yosemite again.
She said she will never go camping. Okay, so that means she had an unpleasant experience. But part of it is you're stressing the key words. We're not catching those key words. I get to look at the script, and my ears are sharper. But I think what happens is, although the writing is good, not all of the ideas that you wrote are going into their ears and into their brain very clearly. So they're not sure what kind of experience that you've had, and they don't understand. So some of you have trouble with the word comfortable. I want to help you with this word. So this word Comfortable. Just say three syllables. Comfortable.
Comfortable.
And then the negative is uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
Right. Okay. And you also wanted to talk about feeling. You said when you woke up in the middle of the night, something happened. I don't think they got it. What happened in the middle of the night?
It's a coyote. It's crying.
Okay. So, coyotes. Coyotes. This is not a common word. Coyotes is not a common word. So if it's not a common word, you need to explain it to your audience. What are coyotes?
Coyote is a kind of wolf.
Kind of wolf. Wolf. Yeah,
Animal.
coyotes.
Wild animal.
Wild coyotes. Okay, and wild coyotes were
Crying.
crying. Okay, you use the word crying. We usually don't say that the coyotes are crying. I thought your baby was crying. Did you see when you heard? See, they thought so too. I thought your baby named Coyote was crying. That's what I thought. And then I looked here and I said, oh my goodness, they're not going to understand this at all. So we usually say when we talk about animals making a crying sound, we say howling. Howling. Ooh! Ooh! Like that, right? Not like that. Okay, so when you use the crying, we think babies are crying. Because you said you have your son, right? Did you say you had somebody? Right. Okay, so here's a problem. We think a totally different thing than what you're saying. Part of the reason is because of vocabulary. Coyotes is not common. You need to explain what that is. If it's not a common word, you need to explain it. Then people know, oh yeah, wolf, we know that. It's a kind of wolf.
But I could understand what she said.
Okay, you can understand. Good, that's good. But maybe some people didn't. I see a lot of people going like, that's not what you thought it was a baby crying. I thought you were telling the name of your child and your baby was crying, but I didn't understand why you were scared. That part, that part I didn't say. Why is mommy afraid of her baby crying? Then I noticed, I said, no, I must have misunderstood. And then I looked at the paper and said, oh, different reason. Okay, so that some of those things, I'm just trying to give you some tips. Like when you're talking with people and you're using really common vocabulary, then it's easy. When you're learning some uncommon, infrequent vocabulary, then you need to be prepared to slow down, say it well, and maybe give a short explanation. Then it makes your listeners have an easier time of it. So, how about Yosemite itself? Do you enjoy Yosemite?
Yes, very. Yosemite is very beautiful and amazing, but
The part you didn't like is camping.
Camping.
Okay, so although you won't go camping, you might go back again to see the scenery?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. It's a beautiful park. Thanks very much.